Welcome back to my channel. It is the off season and it is in full swing, so there is very few things to talk about. But in the last few days, there has been a few things that have happened that are worth talking about, in my opinion. So this is going to be kind of like a newsy video, so we're going to be talking about a few things. First, I'm going to talk about some signings that happened and a little bit of an update to my free agency video that I made. In my free agency video, I had mentioned some interesting people who were not quite signed yet. Three out of the four people that I mentioned are signed now, so I thought I would provide an update on those. So Nikolai Ehlers, who formerly of the Winnipeg Jets, is now going to the Carolina Hurricanes, and his contract is a 6-year contract with an AAV of 8.5 million. So he's leaving Winnipeg to go chase other things, probably chase a cup, because that's not the only signing that Carolina has had in the last few days where you're like, okay, so they are trying to bolster this roster. They signed Stankoven for an extension. So yeah, look out for Carolina because they've been doing a lot of stuff because they got a lot of cap space that some teams would be jealous that they even have that. So yeah, Carolina, good job. But in that realm of Carolina lost Brett Burns, who is now going to the Avalanche for a 1-year contract at an AAV of 1 million. So 1 by 1, easy for me to write down. He's a veteran. He's been in this league for my whole lifetime, I believe. And so yeah, he's had quite the run. I don't think he has a Stanley Cup yet, so going to the Avs is definitely in an attempt to get a Stanley Cup before he retires. Then Pius Suter, who signed a 2-year contract with the St. Louis Blues at 4.125 million AAV. He was on Vancouver. I know him, or I don't know him, but I know him on the ice very well. And since that Besser contract happened, it was like, okay, Pius Suter is out of Vancouver. Like, there's no way he's coming back. Because Vancouver actually went over the salary cap by a few $1,000s. So Vancouver is looking probably to make a move for picks or something like that to get a contract off the books. And so, yeah, Pius Suter is going to St. Louis. St. Louis is looking a little bit dangerous with some of the signings that they had over free agency and some of the extensions that they had, kind of in the same realm as Carolina, but St. Louis, their window for a cup is very up in the air because they made the playoffs this past year, but they didn't have the strongest of rosters, and now they made the moves that they have made, so you never know. Then, not in free agency, but a prospect has signed an ELC. Jake O'Brien of the Seattle Kraken, who drafted him in the first round this past draft. He got to sign his ELC on the ice in front of a bunch of fans after they did their prospect scrimmage thing. So that was a very nice video to see. He, I am pretty sure, becomes the first prospect in the 2025 draft to sign an ELC. And so, yeah, good for him. And I can't wait to see what he does in the league. Speaking of prospects, that brings me to dev camp, or development camp for prospects, that are wrapping up and have wrapped up within the last day. Just some things to note from there. Some teams like Pittsburgh did all of their development camp with their prospects off ice. We've been seeing this trend a little bit of teams opting to do a bunch of community and off ice personal development rather than having them on the ice. A team that still has their prospects go on the ice is the Vancouver Canucks. And yeah, one story that came out of that camp is that I saw this post of, the X team is doing airsoft, and the San Jose Sharks are going to escape rooms and stuff like that, while the Vancouver Canucks prospects are being forced to climb a mountain. Basically, they did the grouse grind, which they do every year, and yeah, it was very interesting to see the videos that were coming out of that. And it's kind of funny that they give all the prospects a 10-minute head start on the Sedins, and somehow the Sedin twins are able to beat them. They're in their 40s, keep in mind, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, now on to another piece of news. The CBA, which is the collective bargaining agreement between the NHL players union and the NHL themselves, has been extended for 4 years. And there's been some changes that have been made to the CBA that are of note. One is that the season is now going to be 84 games, up from the 82. So not a huge jump in games, but I think we'll see some interesting results from that. And another thing is that the new CBA has a rule where organizations can't enforce dress codes. So the NHL is going in a more players can do whatever they want when they show up to the rink. So I don't know how I feel about that yet. There's something about seeing the guys show up in suits, and I don't know, it felt like that was the hockey, that was a hockey thing. You don't see that in any other league, really. So that's another thing. And then one major thing, in my opinion, is that for the 2026-2027 season, it's going to be mandated that anyone entering the league in that season and beyond will be mandated to wear a neck guard. It's being fathered in like the visors and helmets were. And if you played at least one game before the 2026-2027 season, you have a choice. I think that this is a good direction from seeing some of the stuff that's happened in the last few years of things happening around the neck area, whether it be skates, whether it be sticks, pucks, whatever. I think that this is a good direction. And the way I see it is that kids are told, like through minor hockey, then juniors and college, I'm pretty sure, they all have neck guards. Even the AHL, they have neck guards. So it didn't really make sense for why they would just automatically just take that away at the National Hockey League. And you see over in Europe, they're mandatory for the pro leagues over there. So, yeah, I think this is a good step in just player safety in general. So, yeah, good on the NHL and good on the Players Union for putting that in there because I think it's pretty important. Lastly, I'm going to talk about an interview that Brock Besser did with the Canucks Insider podcast, which is a podcast set up by the Canucks organization themselves. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because I'm a Canucks fan, if you haven't noticed. And when Besser did sign to stay in Vancouver, I felt like it was heaven. It was like I was in shock. I was like, "Oh my God, we're keeping this guy!" Like I had fully made up in my mind, like, "Yep, we're losing him. I'm sorry, but yeah." So for him to re-sign was big for the organization, and it was also a happy day in this household of mine. So he was talking about how he was talking with some of his teammates and how they were really, really pressing him to stay. He mentioned Connor Garland and Thatcher Demko, I'm pretty sure the two individuals were. And they were really trying to like get him to stay and get him to like sign with the Canucks, and he had already kind of made up in his mind that he wasn't going to be coming back. And so yeah, it was just nice and cool for, I guess, like the whole fans to see how much some of these guys believe in the group that we have. And so that really warmed this Canucks heart of mine. So yeah, he's staying, and I'm happy he's staying for 7 years. We don't have to deal with him like potentially walking or something like that for a long time. And yeah, so I think it's a sign that the guys believe in the locker room, they believe in the team, and I'm sounding very optimistic, but I think they will have a better season next year. And with like the young defensemen that are coming up through the system, Tom Willander, Elias Pettersson, Victor Mancini, and with them all under the tutelage of Quinn Hughes and Philip Hronek, I think we're going to have a good D-core. We got to still make some moves up in the forwards, but I think we're in a good place. Demko's locked up. He's going to be nice and healthy for the start of the season, so I think we're in for a good season. Hopefully, I will be making some season prediction videos as the 2025-2026 season comes about. So yeah, that's gonna be the video today. Let me know what you think of this new video kind of format of talking about a bunch of different things in one video. And I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure to hit like, comment, subscribe mainly, so I can still make these videos. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.